Today's destination brings me back to the state referee bar. As you know, the last time I was here, I did not get to do the smog rollers because my car was too low. I had spent so much time getting the ride height set up for the perfect low height for me, and unfortunately that ended up biting me in the ass. And when they lowered the platform to put it on the rollers, it contacted and they couldn't do the smog part of the test, so I had to go home and make another appointment.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Fortunately, I got an appointment a week to the day. I had raised the suspension, maxed out the height on the front end, and some of you guys saw me at the ELDS event on Sunday, and probably was wondering why the car was a little bit higher and I was rolling on the TEs. That was because the rolling diameter was higher than my MR5s with the lower profile tires. And yesterday I threw on my Panasports with the slightly taller profile tires. I threw them on with the slightly taller profile tires on the 16s, and so hopefully that, in combination with the maxed out ride height, will give me the height that I need to be able to finish the roller test today and get that taken care of. You know, on Saturday I did an interview with Gus, his little podcast for AutomotiveAnatomy. Check that out. He hinted at some of the stuff that I was getting up to, and I kind of hinted at it too, but I wasn't able to give too much detail because I wanted to save it for our channel and give more information on what I was doing, this entire process, and hopefully be able to provide some answers for everybody else who's going to be doing this. Also, the ref that's doing this is his name's Aaron. He seemed more than happy to be interviewed by me, so that way I can talk to him and ask him a little bit more questions that you guys might have, like what do they look for when they're doing this process, what are the do's, do nots, what are the things that you're allowed to do, not allowed to do in this. I have some interesting answers for you guys, so wish me luck, and hopefully everything goes through today. The moment of truth. They're pulling it onto the rollers. This time Aaron has a helper who's helping him move the car. Kind of trusted Aaron a little bit more moving the car last time. His helper, not as much. Has a little rough with my car.
Moving behind the rocks!
Keep going! You're good! You're good!
But I can't really say too much about that right now, so we'll just see. Here's the thing, see their rollers? I don't know if you can tell, but their rollers are really in the ground. And then there's that flat plate in between. So that's what caused the problem last time, is their rollers are slightly below ground. So when they drop the platform, that steel plate in the middle is what my car was contacting on. So that's what caused the issue last time. So when they dropped the platform between the rollers, my car was contacting. And that's what caused the problem. So Hopefully that won't be a problem now. Cross my fingers. Checking out all the stuff again under the hood, making sure everything's what it's supposed to be. And then if everything's good, set up the fan after. That's kind of cool. So we'll see what happens.
Is it clear? Oh, yes. Oh. Clearance is clearance, okay.
Okay, so that's good news. That's good news. We have an 1.5 inch clearance on there. So apparently we're going to be able to go ahead and move forward with the smog, with the rollers. Oh, I'm so happy about that. Man, that's a difference. That's the difference between my 22.25 ride height on the MR5s and maxing out the suspension, the ground control on the front at the highest point I can get it, plus 16-inch Panasports on 205 45 16s Firestones, and then them prepping it. Wow. And also the 205 50 15 Advans in the rear on the TEs. So, whew, man, can't stress to you guys enough how nervous this entire process had made me. And just this point today, getting to this point today, especially being able to get this part done, to get to this test. It's taken a lot of effort. Boots has helped me on this. Kyle Law has helped me on this. Just Mike for introducing me to Kyle's dad and getting me in touch with Kyle. That's the end of the roller test. Let's see what the results are. Hopefully we got good news. Thank you again for my wifey for coming and hang out with me for this. And again, PCC Auto Shop, man, check this place out. So much stuff for Hondas. Man, I wish I knew about this auto shop when I was going to college, man. I would have definitely come to school here. But then again, when I was going to school after high school, PCC was kind of like a high school extension and was super crowded, so I don't know that I would have been able to do that. So hopefully we have a good verdict. Fingers crossed. Hopefully I don't need to make another appointment. Hopefully today there's some good news. Hopefully today we get our sticker. I can start sharing the good news with people. Start posting up some pictures. Start posting up some info. We'll see. see what happens. Hopefully there's good news. Hopefully there's good news. I'm hoping, because I'd love to be able to. The button's still hooked up.
It's still hooked up?
Yeah. As long as he's got the key on, you should be able to do it. I'm glad I showed that to you.
I'm remembering.
Pretty nerve-wracking. So, right now, I'm just waiting for the final results. So basically, they did the roller test. Good news, they, as you saw, didn't contact anything, had 1.5-inch clearance, very close, but, didn't contact anything. So now I believe they're probably doing their final inspection under the hood, making sure everything's connected up right, nothing's not where it's not supposed to be. All the wires and stuff are proper connected. The plugs are what they're supposed to be. I'm assuming, because I see them, they've got their tool chests out, they've got some tools out, so I think right now they're just kind of going over all the connections and everything with a fine-tooth comb. So, and that part I can't film. So, if anything, that's the part that I guess I'll get to ask Aaron about after the process is done, and hopefully I get to record that for you guys. If not, then I'll ask him the questions and answers, and then I'll call you guys.
1 hour later.
Now it's been a little while since they've already finished the roller test. They've been poking around under the hood, looking at all the wiring and everything. Probably just checking all the connections, making sure the wiring's legit. Now they have the car jacked up, probably looking at the catalytic, making sure all the markings are correct, matching up. Because they were double checking to make sure all the carb numbers were matching up to what's online as far as the header. And I believe the ECU numbers as well. So I believe they're double checking that right now too. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so it's about 1:50 from my 1 o'clock appointment. They just dropped the car back down after taking a look underneath. I'm not sure if they were looking at the catalytic or the timing marks on the engine. So yeah, they're doing a pretty thorough job checking everything underneath. So the test is legit. I don't think you can come in and BS any of this stuff. They check your wiring, they check all the carb numbers, they check all the plugs, they're going to check your cell, make sure that works. So, don't come in and think that you can BS your way through all this stuff. They are going to check everything. Plus, remember, you do your virtual test or your virtual appointment online, and they're going to submit all this stuff online first, just to get you in the door, okay? And when you do that, you're submitting your stuff to make sure that you're not going to waste their time coming in the first place. So, don't think you can be all slick and submit your buddy's car with all clean info and stuff like that, and then come in and your car's not correct at all. No, they're going to double check everything. They're going to make sure what you submitted actually matches up to what you have. So, don't think that just an easy way to bypass all that. You gotta make sure. You gotta make sure all your stuff matches up. And I gotta tell you, it is a little nerve-wracking. They're going through everything. They're going through everything top to bottom. They're doing a fuel cap check. They're doing a smog check, pressurization, all that stuff. And so this is definitely they said budget about 100 minutes for this inspection. Yeah, and my appointment was at 1 o'clock. Or, not 1 o'clock, at noon. A little after 12:50. So, we're still going through it. See how it goes.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Awesome. Good news. It passed. Awesome. Okay, so when somebody does the bar process, I know I couldn't record what you guys were checking under the hood. What are some of the things that you guys look for, though, in general? Because I know a big part of it was the virtual appointment to make sure, obviously, people aren't wasting your time coming in half-assed and stuff. But beyond the virtual appointment, what do you guys look for when the car comes in?
So everything that you had to submit in that virtual appointment that we'd ask, the whole exhaust system, any aftermarket parts, we're verifying everything that you sent is actually on this vehicle. So we're checking all those part numbers, all those EO numbers, and we're basically verifying what year, make, model you installed in there is in that configuration.
Yeah. So somebody's not taking pictures of somebody else's car and giving it.
Exactly.
And then,
Exactly. And basically that it is in accordance with the engine change guidelines. So everything that the engine change guidelines says you are allowed to do for this specific, because it varies. Depending the model year of the vehicle and the model year engine you're in is depending on what you're allowed to do and not do.
Yeah, and I saw, and on the email I got, said, the basic guidelines, 96 and back, and then 96 to, I think, 2000 something, and it had the different groups of guidelines for the specific tests.
Right, and mainly, OBD2 or non-OBD2, there's just different things. And then if it's 2000 and up, if we're checking software or not, it just really depends specifically on what you've got in there and what we're looking for. But in general, we're just looking for everything, whatever year, make, model engine you installed is installed in there correctly in the correct configuration.
Perfect. And what we discussed last time too, you had mentioned JDM engines. Obviously, you had mentioned that JDM engines are not available at this time to be bar certified, but they are okay as functional replacements. Correct. So if you have a USDM GSR equipped car and you blow that engine, then you can use a JDM replacement as long as everything's hooked up the way the USDM is. USDM ECU, all your smog equipment, your catalytic, all the smog pumps, and the charcoal canister and all of that, then you can use it as a functional replacement.
That's correct, yeah.
Okay.
So you can use a JDM block as a replacement, just not an engine change replacement. And of course, same year or liter and conform to the U.S. domestic market setup.
Perfect. Okay, very cool. Thank you so much, man. Problem. Yeah, I gotta admit, I was kind of hanging on the edge of my seat. I mean, this entire process. Very cool. Thank you both. I really appreciate it, man. So good news. Whew, I am over the moon with this. I just got the good news. I just paid my fee. I passed. The car is legit. We are good to go. They're printing up my bar label right now. I am good. Wow. Definitely was hanging on the edge of my seat. The bar ref was kind enough to talk to me for a little bit, answer some questions, let me get him on camera. Really great guys. Man, this is honestly, other than being nervous about the testing process, this legitimately was not that bad a process. Other than just, take the time, make sure you do things right. Make sure your wiring is right. Make sure your catalytic is right. Make sure the engine is right. Make sure do the proper tune-up on your engine. Seal it. Get your tune right. Do your spark plugs. Make sure you have oil in the engine. Because the first time I came here, the ref also noticed that my oil was a little low, so I made sure to top that off. That was really good. Aaron caught that and made sure, so I topped that up as well. But just little things like that. Make sure your car's tuned right. Make sure you've got proper plugs. Make sure your wiring's connected. Raise your car. Don't bring it in slammed because you're going to run into the same issue I did. Just raise it up, especially just for the test. Who cares? It's 4x4 mode just for the test. That's fine. But make sure, bring it in tuned. Put on a good muffler. Make sure the exhaust is good. Make sure the catalytic's good. Your O2 sensors are good. Gas cap's good. Make sure your wiring, plugs, I said all that. Just make sure all that stuff is in a good state of tune. Make sure to drive it around. Make sure your cat's good. Make sure to do all of that first. Get that all squared away. I ran into all sorts of issues in the beginning before I even made my appointment, and it was just driving me nuts. And I did not want to make my appointment until I got that all squared away. Because remember, if you have even a single check light for anything, even if it's a random minor thing that has nothing to do with your emission system, you will fail. I had a check light for my vehicle speed sensor. That would have been an instant fail. You will not pass with that. So make sure, take the time, get all that done. If you have all that done, you submit for that virtual appointment, and you get past that virtual appointment, you come in, chances are you will pass. I ran into minor issues. The car was too low, it was contacting. Then I throw on another set of wheels I throw on my Panel Sports with the taller, the 16s with the taller diameter tires. And I ran into a stupid issue where two of the wheels cracked again, and they aired out and went flat on one side. So then I had to throw on the TEs, which had a slightly taller diameter than my Mugens. And, but then just to be safe for the test, I went and threw the two good Panel Sports back on the front end just to give it that extra little half-inch of lift on the front end. And look, my car lifted just by 1.5 inches clearance on the dyno, and sometimes that's all it needs is that extra difference. So and yeah, it's nerve-wracking, and it's a bit of a process, but if you do it and you do it right, you can get it done. So it's not a closed off process. But as the ref said, you cannot bar a JDM engine. They will not allow that. You cannot bar a JDM engine, but you can use them as a functional replacement. You still have to have everything hooked up for your USDM compliant engine. So if you blow a GSR engine, for example, you can use the JDM equivalent, but it has to be connected up like your US model. US catalytic, US ECU, all your US smog equipment, all of that has to be hooked up. And you can use it. It's kind of like back in the day when this car was a single cam. I blew the engine, and Watanabe Corp in downtown used to import these engines all the time, and I picked up the JDM replacement, just dropped it in, didn't have to bar it or anything, it was a direct replacement. So it's kind of that same idea. Thank you guys for watching. Wish me luck with everything else. Take care.